Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Edem back with another video. Welcome to the channel. On this channel, we talk all things real estate, commercial, and residential, a little bit of financial literacy, credit, and some personal development sprinkled in on top. Uh, that's all going to help you overall as an investor, whether you're starting out or whether you're seasoned and been doing your thing. You know the importance of, having good credit, financial literacy, and good uh, personal development skills. All right, so that's what we talk about here. So if you are new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. If you're already part of the family, salute. You know how we do it. We have a free VIP group where we talk about different aspects of real estate. We dig deep, and it's a group of like-minded individuals like yourself, a community of real estate investors that are answering the tough questions and learning and growing as a community. So leave the link in the description below. Go ahead and join if you like. I'd love to see you there. It's free. So today's video, I'm just going over a little bit of my credit journey. All right. And starting from the top, my journey started back in 98 when I bought a car. It was a Dodge Neon specifically. And I needed a cosigner at the time. Didn't have any credit built up. I was 18 years old, and I needed a cosigner. So, you know, my mom stepped up to the plate, and that's how I was able to get that car. Now, I paid that car off by late December of '99, and as a result of that, that helped my mom qualify for a house because she had a repo on a car that she had, maybe 4 or 5 years prior to that. So that really helped her out as a result. And that was kind of the start of me building some kind of payment and credit history um, on my profile. So back in the early 2000s, I had maybe 3 or 4 credit cards. I was 20 years old, just got my first apartment. I was working at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago. So I had, like I said, just got my first apartment there. I'm working every day. And what I would do is I would use my credit cards to buy all my groceries, pay all my expenses except for my rent. So I would generally just max out my cards, and I'd pay them down here and there, uh, and pay them off every once a while. But most of the time, I'm just swiping, 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 swiping. You know, uh, I will admittedly admit that I wasn't a financial literacy guru. I didn't I didn't have any any real training on how to move money and how to keep money. I knew how to make money, but I did not know how to keep money. Did not know how to grow the money, but I could definitely check it. I was always making money. I just again didn't know how to keep it. I wasn't trained on that. I didn't, read the Think and Grow Riches by that time. I didn't, soak up all of the Napoleon Hills and the Kiyosaki's and all the other financial uh, gurus out there, and some of those good ideal books and information that was teaching what to do and what not to do. Didn't have mentors. You know what I mean? I didn't have a bunch of people that I could look up to that was already doing it, and I could learn from them. I had to learn through bumping my head, unfortunately. You know what I mean? And for those of you out there that's young and coming up watching this, do your best to try to find your mentor, even if it's not somebody that you personally know. You know, uh, somebody that is successful that you can follow and learn and grow from, that could be your mentor, even if they don't know you from a hole in the wall. All right. They don't know you exist. So what? You know what I mean? You can still watch and learn from them and learn what to do and not to do just by simply studying what they do and how they came up. So do your best if you're a shorty out here, or you know, in your early 20s, you're a teenager and you're trying to come up, find you somebody you can, you know, uh, learn from. All right. Somebody that has done it, you know, and also don't blow off the people that have failed in life and have not done it, because it's a lot that you can learn from people's failures. That's the whole point of not bumping your own head. Learn from everybody else's failures, because I guarantee you, even if you have a mentor, you find somebody that you want to, you know, apply yourself after, you know, and you know, liken yourself to. Uh, they failed a whole bunch of times. If they didn't, they lie. Everybody has hit a roadblock in their life, and you can learn from that. All right. So going back to the story, you know, I wasn't a good money manager back then. You know, I was early 20s. I get money, I blow it. You know what I mean? And that's what was going on. So eventually, you know, maxed out my cars, went into debt. At the time, I had a Toyota Camry that I got in 2000. Uh, and, you know, I had eventually had trouble keeping up with the payments and got the car repoed. Right. So now I got the car repoed. Maybe 23-ish, 24, car repoed, uh, maxed out cards. You know, I'm in the hole. I'm not on the job. I've you know, I had an accident on that job, and I left, and that is actually the last traditional job I've had. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and always will be. But that's the last time I gave it a shot, trying to, you know, have a traditional W-2 back in the early 2000s. So now I don't have a job, car repoed, deep in debt. Here I am, right? So uh, I ended up, I believe, filing for bankruptcy in '05, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And, you know, I felt that that was the thing to do. And I probably didn't have to do that. But once again, uh, when you don't have mentors, you don't have somebody to guide you, you know what I mean? And you have to learn by your own, bumping your own head. Uh, that's the route I decided to go. And like I said, looking back, I probably did not have to do that, but I did anyway. Fast forward a few years from there to '08, and my score was at 720. You know, after filing bankruptcy, continuing to get money, um, you know, just moving along. Okay. Um, you know, got back on my feet, got everything in order. But yeah, score was at 720 at that time. If some of you guys remember, if you, depending on what age you were, um, you know, the high score at that time was not 850, it was like 750. So I was damn near a you know, perfect credit at that time. So you know, basically at that time I had about 20,000 in credit, you know, late '08, right before the crash. And you know, certain things was going on. I ended up blowing that as well. uh, Once again, I'm bringing it back to all my young guys and girls on this video watching, you know, whenever you happen to see this. Make sure you learn how to not just make money, but move your money and grow your money. You know what I mean? Um, do not be the idiot that just gets money and blows through it just because you think and you believe your check is coming next week, or, you know, you're going to hit that lick tomorrow, or, you know, you got a big bankroll coming in whenever you got it coming in, or you're expecting that big inheritance. You know, learn to uh, be a good steward of money. So basically, yeah, I once again blew through that, uh, damaged my credit again, and I probably went all the way up till 2017. If I'm not mistaken, before I got another credit card, and you know, unfortunately, it was Credit One Bank. You know what I mean? I've done other videos, not you know stepping on Credit One Bank, but it is not something I advise any of y'all to get, even if you're starting off, and you're only, getting those offers for the $300 card from Credit One Bank or the $200 card with a, $89 annual fee or whatever it is. Avoid that. Okay. Don't go for the subprime. But again, if you don't know these things, you'll jump all over it. All right. So it's probably, like I said, about 2017. I got that Credit One Bank card and just started the process of building my credit back up again. So yeah, around 2020 is when I got my first high limit credit card, and it was a 10K limit from Citibank. And it's actually this card right here, Double Cash. And this was my first, high limit credit card up until that time. I still didn't know that much about credit. I was still applying for subprime cards. I'm guilty. And in 2021, my business pretty much came to a screeching halt. And I found myself burning, through the flames of, high utilization hell. So I believe at one point, if I'm not mistaken, my utilization was 102% utilization. I had used more than I even had available. I don't even know how that happened. Don't ask me how that happened. Definitely do not do that yourself, but somehow that happened. So, you know, that's where I was. It didn't stop there because, like I said, the next year, early 2022, I had a collection hit my account. And this was the first collection I've ever had. Like I told you, I did file bankruptcy and go through all that way back in the early 2000s, but I've never had a collection. I never had anything like that. So, boom, this collection out of nowhere hits my account. At the time, I was probably in maybe the mid 600s, like 640, 650 ish, somewhere around there. And I just happened to be checking my Experian one day and noticed it said, I seen all this red, right? So I'm like, what's going on here? I see all this red, and basically, like, your score has dropped X amount of 89 points. I'm like, what? So of course I click on, and lo and behold, I got a collection from ComEd from like 6 years prior to that, maybe like 215, 216, saying that I'd owed them $114, which was false. I ended up getting that account removed, but that took me about a year and some change to get that card removed, but or that account removed off my profile. But that thing tanked my score, right? That one collection didn't have any late payments. I was still at that time still had high utilization. I was probably 80 something percent utilization at that time. So I'm super high utilization. Now I got a collection on my account. And at one point, I just told you, it looked like it was like 89 points at the beginning. But at one point, I think my score is as low as a 540. And that's insane, y'all. Some of y'all are right there right now. Um, some of y'all have been there and like a phoenix rose out the ashes, like I did. But if you're there now, trust me, there's hope, and there's a way to get up out of that. You know what I mean? A lot of us have done that, and it's possible. So, keep your head high if you are in that low range right now. All right. So at that time, I'm 540, 80 to 90% utilization and the collection. It's just not looking good. So like I was saying, I spent the next year and a half pretty much paying down all those credit cards and disputing the collection. And, it wasn't until last year, 2023, maybe I want to say it was June-ish of last year, maybe May or June of 2023, when I got the collection finally removed. Now, I did everything. I did all your, all your sending letters. I everything you can think of. Okay, the CFPB moves, the sending letters, calling the reporting agencies, calling the lender, like anything I could do that I picked up from YouTube or picked up from somebody that said this might work. I tried it, but it wasn't until I'll go deeper into that in a second. But basically, like I said, I spent the next year and a half paying down those credit cards, disputing the collection. It wasn't until May, June of last year when the collection got removed. Eventually, got my utilization down all the way down to zero, and that led to me hitting the 800 club in November of 2023. So the highest my score has ever been is 805. And I immediately went out and got me some new credit products. You know what I mean? Because I don't care about a score. I care about what that score can allow me to obtain and me being able to finance and fund the things that I'm trying to do business wise. So that's what matters to me, not being part of the 800 club. All right. So now at this point, I got multiple cards. We've got the 30 on the PSECU. Some of you guys are familiar with that one. We've got the Sapphire Reserve. You know what I mean? Both of those are at 30,000 limits, and we've got the Chase Business Inc. Also have the Navy Federal Biz card. So those are just some of the cards that I currently have now. 20K limits on the business side, 30K on the personal side, and now I got my credit profile with my life. Okay, I pay off most of my balances monthly, and I'm playing the games now. You know what I mean? I've been down this road, and you don't want to go down that road. If you are currently going down that road, again, do your best to pay down your cards. And if there's a cash flow issue like I had, which is how I got into utilization hell, is because my business came to screeching halt. I needed to stay afloat. So that's when the cards started getting charged. You know what I mean? Because I needed to pay, to keep, my business running. So that's what got me down. And then when I wasn't getting any deals coming through the door, things just went left. And that's how life goes sometimes. But, how I basically learned again is what I just told you, YouTube University. That led me to buying courses, which led to a bunch of trial and error. And you're probably wondering, okay, well then how did you remove the collection finally? Well, consumer law. I won't go in depth, about that in this video, because, this video is already pretty long. But in other videos, I'll be talking about some consumer law and bringing on some people that can talk to you, especially about consumer law, and interviewing some folks that are heavy in that space. But that's how I got my collection removed, by learning about consumer law and applying what Congress already put into place, you know what I mean, to protect consumers. And that's what worked. So that's pretty much, my credit journey up until this point. So now, I'm a little over six figures on the personal side, and right up under 50 on the business side as of this video. I will be going for another funding round here in about 2.5 months, just seasoning and building relationships with different institutions and banks right now. So I'm not applying for a damn thing at the moment. But scores nice and solid. 775 Experian, 771 Equifax, and 768 TransUnion as of the time of this video. So I'm okay. Not the greatest, but definitely not the worst. So that's where I'm at in moving forward. Okay. So once again, leaving you guys with this, again, learn as much as you can, you know, uh, soak up this information, and then apply this information to your life that is going to help you get out of high utilization hell, is going to get you out of those uh, subprime credit cards, and into higher limit credit cards like some of the few I just showed you, and just give you the opportunity to get in a position to be able to do what you want to do. All right. So hopefully this helped. How does this all play back into real estate? Well, without again going too deep, you can turn credit to cash. I'm not here promoting any uh, 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 manufactured spending whatsoever, but where there's a will, there's a way. You can turn your credit into cash. You can leverage a good personal credit to get funding on the business side to invest in real estate. Uh, so we'll go deeper into that in other videos, but hopefully this video was useful and you found value in it. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next video.